Good evening, I'm Asha Tomlinson. Ian is away. Tonight, a dire prediction about COVID in the coming weeks.
The Delta-driven wave has continued to accelerate. This is a crucial moment.
What will it take to avoid the worst-case scenario? Alberta's premier issues an urgent plea and a promise to pay up.
For the love of God, please get vaccinated now. And if you do, we will now pay you $100.
As the election campaign enters an all-important phase,
we will maintain the ban on assault weapons.
We dig into promises on gun control. And how Marvel's new movie is inspiring a generation of young talent.
Oh, it's an Asian superhero. Like, that could be me.
This is The National. Canadians have locked down, masked up, and sacrificed. We've bought time for one of the most successful vaccination rollouts in the world. But still, according to the latest pandemic modeling from the Public Health Agency of Canada, it's not enough.
The bottom line is that millions of people across Canada remain unvaccinated.
The trends are in the wrong direction. Cases are going up, hospitalizations, and so on.
We've seen this movie before. Average daily new cases surging now to about 3,500 a day. COVID hospitalizations rising to about 1,400. Overwhelmingly, patients who aren't fully vaccinated. The number of Canadians who still don't have that protection, about 12 million, including 4 million children who aren't eligible. But the modeling isn't about where we are, it's about where we're going. And Vicodopia shows us if health officials are right, it may come down to this. Either more vaccinations or more restrictions.
It's been a vaccination summer for most Canadians, but as the pace has slowed down, the Delta variant has kept COVID-19 raging on, and in some regions, it's hit hospitals hard.
You're in a province like Alberta and Saskatchewan, we don't have ICU capacity. You know, if you get into a severe car accident or something like that, that literally means that you might not get the critical care support you need in order to have your life saved. So that is the kind of desperation we're at.
A year ago, Canada averaged 500 new cases a day. Today, it's 3,500. Cases have increased by 23% from last week alone. So have hospitalizations. Deaths are also up by 57% since then. Federal government projections suggest next month could be worse.
We will see accelerations, so we've got, not very much time.
If the virus continues to spread at the current rate and no extra measures are taken, the daily cases could triple. But federal modelers predict reducing the spread by 25% could flatten the curve.
If we want to avoid what we experienced in a second and third wave, especially with all of us, going back inside, with the fall and school and the colder weather, let's get our vaccination rates up.
Officials are looking particularly at adults under 40. A third of them still haven't had both shots, and they're the bulk of new cases. But while vaccine mandates remain controversial and patience wears thin for stricter public health measures, both may be needed to control the outbreak.
Getting the public to buy in to say you need to see less people, you can't go to certain places, getting businesses to buy in to say you can't do as much business. It's going to be really tough, and this is part of navigating this wave. We have a viable solution.
So Vic, bottom line here, does this modeling mean we're looking at more lockdowns in the future?
Well, both Drs. Tam and New mentioned lockdowns are always an option if things don't improve, but that, of course, nobody wants to go there again. Instead, they say targeted restrictions may be needed in specific places where cases are rising and hospitals get overwhelmed. Now, a recent positive development may also avoid the need for that. After vaccine certificates or passports were announced in BC, Manitoba, and Quebec, vaccine bookings actually went up, which means fewer people eventually will be getting severely ill.
Okay, thanks so much, Vicodopia.
You're welcome.
Now, Alberta leads the country in new infections and lags other provinces in immunization. But vaccine passports there are currently out of the question. As Aaron Collins explains, Alberta Premier Jason Kenney came out today with a different plan.
After weeks out of the public eye, Alberta's premier finally emerged today, acknowledging the obvious.
The Delta variant of COVID-19 is causing concerning rises in hospitalizations in our province.
Vaccinations have stalled in Alberta, and to change that, anyone who gets the shot in the coming days now gets a bonus.
If you just haven't gotten around to it, for the love of God, please get vaccinated now. And if you do, we will now pay you $100.
Albertans' opinions mixed on whether that plan will work.
I feel like, using money as a means to solve the problem is not really a solution.
If it gives me less of a possibility of getting COVID, it is worth way more than $100 to me.
And with hospitals filling up, a province-wide mask mandate is back too. But some frontline workers worry it won't be enough to slow this fourth wave.
I'm not sure where that, incredible number is going to end up. I think we're going to end up triaging, and I think a lot of people are going to die unnecessarily.
To prevent that, the opposition continues to push for vaccine passports.
Under my passport plan, the 70% of vaccinated Albertans go on with life as normal while we protect our hospitals, we save lives, we restart the economy.
Polls suggest 77% of Albertans support vaccine passports, something Kenny has said he wants no part of. A disconnect with most Albertans who think the Premier has mishandled the pandemic.
Yet again, the Premier seems to have succeeded in angering the vast majority of Albertans. The Premier has lost confidence of Albertans in his ability to handle this virus.
Well, Jason Kenney's plan to reopen his province for good now in tatters. Playful promises of the best summer ever, replaced with predictions of a dark fall filled with more sickness and death. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
Neighboring Saskatchewan had its highest number of new COVID cases in months. Officials there reported 418 new infections, the second highest daily count since the pandemic hit. The vast majority of them, 81%, were among those unvaccinated. Saskatchewan has the worst provincial vaccination rate in the country after Alberta. And as COVID's fourth wave grips many parts of this country, a sense of frustration and anger is building up among Canada's medical community. As Susanna De Silva shows us, a recent spike in aggression toward healthcare professionals has some on the front lines ready to call it quits.
As crowds protested outside two Vancouver hospitals, a paramedic says she feared for the bleeding patient in the back of her ambulance.
I don't think people understand the severity and how hard it is to watch someone fading when they shouldn't be.
The CBC has agreed not to name the paramedic after confirming her credentials because she fears for her job, but felt she couldn't stay silent. She says the trip should have taken less than 10 minutes. BC's ambulance service confirms it took 22. Traffic was crawling. She says protesters clogging streets around the hospital.
We got him inside emergency and he says, I thought I was going to die in the back of your ambulance. And if he did, his last thoughts would have been all these people banging on the side of the ambulance, saying that it was a conspiracy. It scars us. It scars the hospital staff.
And according to healthcare workers across the country, it wasn't just Wednesday's protests that are leaving scars. The Canadian Medical Association came out with a statement today condemning the escalating bullying its members are facing.
So it's really hard to understand why people would hurtle that kind of hatred and abuse towards people whose entire profession is the service of others.
The nurses that have hung in and day out to where we are now, the fourth wave, are true heroes, and the only reward they get is an increased workload.
Messages of support have now popped up outside some BC hospitals.
It makes us feel that the things that we do here are not being appreciated, but seeing this one, yeah, it's all worthwhile.
But the fear is for many, it may come too late.
The people that support us are just not as loud as the people that are against us. I'll reevaluate what I do on my days off, but I might not be back.
Not the way she wanted to end her 30-year career. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
The search continues for victims of devastating flooding in the U.S. Northeast caused by remnants of Hurricane Ida. This is just some of the flooding that remains today after the storm hit the area Wednesday into Thursday. Dramatic before and after photos show just how severe it was. Ida has killed at least 49 people in the U.S. And that includes 11 people in New York City who became trapped when water poured into their basement apartments. Chris Reyes shows us the neighborhood where some of them lived and where others now have stories of survival.
Really quickly. In 2 minutes, the water was above his head. This man is describing how quickly his house flooded. We went door to door in this one neighborhood in Queens. Everyone had a story of just how high the water got Wednesday night.
It went up to here, but the water is splashing around because we have stuff that's much higher that got wet.
Was your car underwater?
Yeah. No.
We ripped out the carpeting and the waters went up to those levels.
This picture shows Joey Ferraro sitting helpless on his porch as his street transformed into a river.
What happened to your house?
Destroyed. Water up about 5.5 feet into the house.
Take a look at this pile, mattresses, furniture across the street, an even bigger mess. I mean, that's the contents of someone's house. This is one street in Queens, many others all over New York City with the same devastating cleanup.
3 bodies were found in this basement apartment in Queens. City officials are now investigating the living conditions of the basement apartments where people died. Inspectors confirmed that 5 of the 6 properties were illegally converted. That could mean anything from cramped spaces to poor airflow to no exits. Linda Law converted her house, but legally.
And it has a back door and a front door entrance. So, and then, we have the windows on both sides.
In Manhattan, life seems eerily back to normal. But the fear now is, when will it happen again? Here in Queens, it's no happy place for these homes, knowing just how vulnerable they are. People who've lived on this street for decades say they've never seen anything like what happened.
This is an eye-opener.
How scared are you guys for the next time that this might happen? And how?
I didn't want to live here anymore. I lost everything.
Mayor Bill de Blasio has announced a task force to look at how the city can prepare for its new reality, extreme weather. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
In New Jersey, at least 25 people died, many caught on the roads in flash floods. Others are still missing, and the damage caused by Ida is extensive.
So we're waiting for us to come?
Yep.
Yeah. Say hi.
In one community, a support dog was on hand to help residents as they took stock of the damage caused by a tornado. Elsewhere, another dramatic scene. A gas explosion ripped this house to shreds after floodwaters receded. Thankfully, no one was home at the time.
We're Americans, and we'll get through this together. We just got to remember, we not only have to build back, we have to build back better than it was before.
U.S. President Joe Biden toured parts of devastated Louisiana today, where Ida made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane on Sunday. Power is still out to many in the sweltering heat. Biden promised every community the federal government would have their backs until recovery is complete. Now to the ongoing fight for your vote, this time over the issue of gun violence. Today, the Conservative leader pledged to crack down on gun smuggling and make it easier to prosecute gangs. But as David Cochran explains, his main opponent wants to focus on something else.
Justin Trudeau wants voters to read the policy for themselves, using the TVA debate to highlight the exact page in the Conservative platform that deals with gun control. A wedge issue Trudeau is keen to use against Aaron O'Toole.
And he got caught saying one thing to his friends in the gun lobby, and it's opposite to Canadians.
We will maintain the ban on assault weapons. That statement is true, but only as it applies to fully automatic weapons, which have been banned in Canada since 1977. The disagreement is over a vast list of semi-automatic weapons, which the Liberals banned last year, and which O'Toole immediately promised to reverse, while he was seeking the Conservative leadership and courting support from the gun lobby.
To essentially declare tens of thousands of Canadians to be non-law-abiding by suggesting that their firearms, their semi-automatic firearms, are somehow some big risk. Trudeau and Bill Blair shamelessly lied to Canadians.
He will reverse our move to make it illegal to buy, sell, or use assault weapons in this country.
That Liberal ban includes guns like the AR-15 used in numerous mass shootings in recent years, the M14 used in Moncton in 2014 to shoot 5 RCMP officers, killing 3, and the Beretta Storm used in a 2006 mass shooting at Dawson College in Montreal. We will make sure that we work with police and we work to make sure that there's a transparent process to keep people safe and to make sure that we tackle rising gun violence. O'Toole says the focus should be on criminals and illegal guns smuggled from the U.S., not legal gun owners. Trudeau just wants the focus of voters on guns as this election enters its final weeks. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, following last night's French language debate, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh stayed in Quebec to make a direct pitch to the province.
We want to make sure people know that we will always recognize the nation of Quebec and the distinct identity of Quebec.
As Prime Minister, Singh said he would restore health transfers cut by a previous Conservative government. He emphasized his pledges on pharmacare, dental care, and a temporary pandemic tax on large corporate profits. For many young Canadians, casting a ballot will be more difficult this time around. That's because Elections Canada has suspended a popular voting program at post-secondary institutions. It allowed students to vote while away at school for candidates in their home ridings. Hannah Thibodeau now on an opportunity lost.
At universities and colleges across the country, students are concerned they won't know where to cast their ballot on Election Day.
My immediate reaction is I don't know where I'm going to vote. I don't like it. I'd prefer on-campus voting just to make it easier for myself and like other students to vote.
I'd used them and I saw so many students, they didn't even know that there was an election happening until they saw the locations on campus.
Elections Canada says the reason for canceling its Vote on Campus program is straightforward.
Well, there is one simple word for it, and it's COVID-19.
It says the pandemic, not knowing when and if schools were reopening this fall, and the snap election caused too many logistical issues.
Yes, it is a question of timing. It's a question of trying to get operations so that it can be done in the best conditions, respectful of COVID requirements, health requirements.
The successful campus initiative started as a pilot project in 2015 with 39 campuses across the country. 69,000 students cast a ballot that year. In 2019, it expanded to 109 locations, and more than 110,000 ballots were cast. Some say its suspension could cause confusion.
Because you do have to take that extra step of figuring out sort of which is the best way for you to vote or to cast your ballot. So the risk there is that you lose some students, of course.
It is so important because for when you get someone starting to vote young, they'll vote for a long time or forever or for their whole lives, honestly.
That message isn't being lost on Elections Canada. It's committed to bringing the program back in the next election. For now, students can go to any Elections Canada office to vote or apply to cast a ballot by mail. Hannah Thibodeau, CBC News, Ottawa.
Green Party leader Annamie Paul is also grappling with election readiness. In dozens of ridings, there's no Green candidate, and her party's internal divisions have helped leave her stranded in Toronto. David Thurton shows us how her profile may yet grow.
We didn't need an election.
No,
but here we go.
Green candidates say they could use a boost from their leader.
We'd love to have her visit at the Maritimes generally, but we'd love to have her in Halifax.
Other major parties have crisscrossed the country. So has the People's Party of Canada leader, Maxime Bernier. Annamie Paul has stayed at home in Toronto.
So excited, we're going to be here all the time.
Going street to street, corner to corner, a campaign more local than national, at least for now.
So we haven't ruled out travel. We're still looking into doing that. We still have, of course, the time to do that.
Sources say Paul could still visit ridings in Prince Edward Island and New Brunswick. They also say that there were plans for a national tour, but months of infighting and a money squeeze derailed those plans.
Greens have been dropping in the polls since the beginning of the campaign.
Those sinking numbers could mean Paul's Toronto focus is a losing strategy.
It probably helps the Greens to win Toronto Centre if she is staying in that riding for the entire campaign, but it does seem to have hurt the party everywhere else.
But next week's debate could let her connect with voters.
I'm one of these people that think the debates are the start of the election for lots of people. That's the date for me. Like, that's the day where people are like, okay, there's this thing on tonight that I should, because lots of people watch debates.
Paul's predecessor says watch for her to wow audiences.
Anime is amazingly well-informed, articulate, well-spoken, and I think she'll knock it out of the park.
Team Green!
But even Elizabeth May didn't rely on debates. She toured, especially in the Maritimes,
Bye, guys!
where the party believes it's still competitive.
It would be a boost to campaigns. I think of especially very tight campaigns like in Malpeque and Charlottetown and Fredericton.
A visit from Paul, she says, could swing seats. David Thornton, CBC News, Ottawa.
There are new details tonight in the search of a missing 3-year-old boy in Quebec. Jake Cote was allegedly abducted by his father on Tuesday. Tonight, police say they found DNA evidence confirming the pair was indeed together in the Saint Paul area, about 6 hours north of Montreal. A ground search for them will continue overnight. The boy was wearing jeans, beige boots, and a blue T-shirt with some silver stripes. His father is described as 5'7" and about 180 pounds. Police say he could be armed and could be hiding in the forest. An 18-year-old boxer has died after being knocked unconscious in a match in Montreal.
It's hit the boxing community pretty bad.
Up next, why some say there should be better testing before boxers get in the ring. And later, he's been the face of the pandemic in the United States and knows what it's like to be the target of anger.
You have people who revolt against the people who are trying to do the very things to keep them safe. It's not easy to understand that.
Andrew's interview with Dr. Anthony Fauci. Plus, a different kind of superhero, breaking down barriers and inspiring a new generation of fans.
Really inspired by your passion to be an actor.
We're back in 2.
There's someone here with a knife, babe.
6 people were stabbed inside a supermarket in Auckland on Friday. 3 are in critical condition. The suspect was shot and killed by police. Authorities are calling it a terror attack.
Le policier m'a posé la question.
A Quebec judge has found that a black man wrongfully arrested by Montreal police last winter was not the victim of racial profiling. Mamadi Camara had been wrongly accused of shooting an officer. He spent 6 days in jail before being cleared of all charges. Camara is now suing the city of Montreal and prosecutors for nearly $1 million. A Mexican boxer has now died after she fell unconscious during a weekend match in Montreal. As Valeria Corey-Minocchio shows us, it's left the boxing community reeling and others calling for change.
Boxing gym owner and trainer Howard Grant was at last Saturday's fight between Jeanette Zacharias Zapata and Quebec boxer Marie-Pierre Houle.
I was shaken up even Monday morning, because I was there and I saw this happen and unfold. It's hit the boxing community pretty bad.
That night, Zapata received several blows to the head. At one point, she fell unconscious and she then began to convulse. She was rushed to hospital. In May, Zapata suffered a knockout in a bout in Mexico, but she was cleared to fight in Montreal after undergoing neurological exams. The exact cause of Zapata's death has not been determined. Quebec's coroner's office will investigate, but the incident is already prompting calls for change.
The nature of the sport is to hit someone and to knock them out. So I would abolish the sport.
This neuropsychologist acknowledges that probably won't happen, but he says more in-depth tests are needed before boxers return to the ring after head injuries.
We know now that even if subjectively the person may be feeling great, if we do more precise testing like functional neuroimaging, we see that there are areas in the brain that are not quite recovered and that look atypical
The sports critic for Quebec's opposition Liberals is calling for a registry to keep track of concussions in the sport, for new criteria to match up boxers based on skill, and for an update to the rules for boxing event permits.
In an average, about 13 boxers lose their life yearly around the world on a ring. So this is something that we have to look into. Now it happened here on our soil in Quebec.
Back at Grant's boxing gym, he says more stringent tests could help, but he says fighters know the potential risks.
It's hard. It's a tough one, this one. It's very tough. She was so young, 18 years old, she's a kid, you know.
Valeria Corey Minocchio, CBC News, Montreal.
The National Hockey League is set to return to the Olympics in Beijing next year. After months of negotiations, the NHL has agreed to release its players who have been missing out on the game since Sochi 2014. Under the new deal, the league and players will be able to withdraw if COVID conditions are unsafe. And with the Delta variant driving cases higher and higher, he's in a race against time to get tens of millions of Americans vaccinated.
Well, the real world consequences, I think, are rather dire.
Up next, Andrew's wide-ranging interview with Dr. Anthony Fauci. Plus,
we are so happy to have been able to make a difference in the success of the vaccine rollout in Canada.
They connected Canadians to shots when vaccines were hard to find. Why Vaccine Hunters is winding down, at least for now. Welcome back. As Chief Medical Advisor to the White House, Dr. Anthony Fauci has faced many hurdles in his battle against COVID-19, but his biggest one may still be ahead of him. Andrew sat down with Dr. Fauci to discuss the vaccine hesitant and a growing sense of division as the pandemic drags on.
Hello, Dr. Fauci. Really nice of you to make the time to speak with us. I know you're busy.
Well, thank you. Good to be with you.
Let's start with 80 million. I've heard you say this number quite a lot in the last little while, the number of Americans who are eligible for a vaccine but who are still unvaccinated. And I can't help but wonder, all this time later, literally nothing has worked, right, to convince them to get the vaccine. So what will at this point?
I think it's going to be a combination of a couple of things. Just recently, the FDA has given the final stamp of approval. So I think a combination of people themselves feeling that now that they have the stamp of approval, they'll get vaccinated, as well as the mandates, is going to increase that. I would hope that as the weeks go by, we'll whittle away down at that 80 million and get to many, many more among that group to get vaccinated.
I'm going to ask you about mandates in a second, but what is the cost of not being able to whittle down that number, that 80 million? What is the real world consequence?
Well, the real world consequences, I think, are rather dire in the sense that you're going to continue to have a high dynamic of infection in this country. Hospitalizations are up and deaths are up. If we do not get those group of people vaccinated, we're still going to have an acceleration of cases. And then also the thing we're worried about, not only here in the United States, but throughout the world, as long as you have a dynamics of the virus being able to freely circulate and replicate, then you have the possibility and maybe the likelihood that you'll get more mutations that will lead to variants that might actually evade the protection of the vaccine, which means it'll be negative not only for the unvaccinated people, but for the vaccinated people.
Vaccine mandates, effectively compelling, forcing people to get vaccinated. Are you in favor of them?
I am. As a matter of fact, you always have to be sensitive to people's concern about their own freedom of choice and understandable concerns. But when you're dealing with an outbreak that's historic in its nature, worse than we've ever seen in over 102 years, in the United States alone, we have 630,000 people have died from this outbreak. There comes a time when societal interests have to supersede, at least temporarily, individual interests.
For those folks on the front line, and I'm talking specifically about healthcare professionals, we know this has been a really, really tough year and a half, 2 years. And we've seen burnout among healthcare professionals. We've also seen a kind of rise in anger and frustration directed at them, though, right? Certainly in the United States, but also recently here in Canada. I mean, we've seen large protests in a number of cities, sometimes outside hospitals themselves. What about that trend continuing worries you most?
The idea that you're having people protesting and, you know, in some respects, villainizing health workers and both individual healthcare providers and health authorities is quite disturbing. It's the virus that's the enemy. It's not the people that are trying to help you contain and control and eliminate the virus. Yet, in an almost inexplicable way, you have people who revolt against the people who are trying to do the very things to keep them safe. It's not easy to understand that.
I have time just for one last question for you before I let you go. I was surprised to see that there is a documentary about you coming out in about a week's time. National Geographic has been doing a lot of filming with you. And in that documentary, I mean, we see a side to you that is very much struggling with the burden of this role. I mean, when people call you a murderer, I mean, it's going to get to you and to your family, evidently, as well.
I don't understand the hate that people have.
These people are really, really getting bad. I mean, you know, they're harassing my daughters constantly, which bothers me more than anything else.
When you're involved in a race to stop a horrible disease, you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
And so just on a personal note, I mean, I wanted to ask you, is there a part of all of this that just feels like it's getting harder and harder over time?
Well, it is difficult, but the thing that keeps me and my colleagues going is that the enormity and the importance of the task. You know, if you've devoted your entire career as a physician, a scientist, and a public health person to saving lives and keeping people safe from disease, you focus on that, and all the other difficulties, as hard as they might be, don't get in the way of what your job is. So yes, you're right. It's not easy and not comfortable to have those things that you just described go on, but you've got to make sure you don't let it distract you from what your main job is, to safeguard the life and the health of the people that you're responsible for.
Dr. Fauci, thank you for your time. I know there will be other opportunities for us to chat again.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Take care.
Cheers.
Zoom calls have kept us connected in the darkest moments of this pandemic, and for one artist, it's been a source of inspiration.
They didn't know about it. I didn't tell them. I just painted them when we got together.
Up next, the secret project that kept her busy. Plus, a little later,
too sexy for this chain, too sexy for your game, too sexy for this fame.
a highly anticipated album dropping today, why it's already been blowing up the internet. Throughout this pandemic, people have been using Zoom calls to keep in touch with friends and family while staying safe. While an Ontario woman has been using those virtual connections for solace of another kind. David Common has her story, which we first brought to you in March.
Just a few steps from home, Rosanna Dewey has her serenity. In the wake of the pandemic, the heavy headlines, the non-stop bad, painting is her escape.
It's so intense, and here I feel safe, and I can work away, and it doesn't feel so close.
But in an age of lockdowns, finding subjects in person is problematic. Her local gallery, though, set up a challenge: show connections during COVID. And that sparked an idea for Rosanna.
I thought, I don't know, what connections do I have? And I realized my connections are my friends on Zoom. And so I started painting them. They didn't know about it. I didn't tell them. I just painted them when we got together.
There, now I hear you.
How are you doing?
These friends are artists themselves, part of an online class established during the pandemic. One part social,
Show your work to your camera. 3, 2, 1.
one part art.
Nice.
Well, the Zoom classes have saved myself from COVID insanity.
And some people wondered what quiet Rosanna was doing.
Rosanna, I was getting used to looking at the top of your head quite often, and I knew you were doing something sneaky on the side.
Little did they know, while they talked, she secretly painted.
I had great models.
After many classes, the portraits started to come together.
I wanted to catch them in very naturally, because the thing about Zoom is that you just can't get a good camera shot. There's bad angles, bad lighting. If you have the laptop camera too low, you get all these chins. And if it's too
Or
high,
nostrils.
Yeah. And it was like, no, I've got to paint them the way they are.
Only when they were done did Rosanna reveal why she'd seemed so distracted in the Zoom class.
When Rosanna showed her initial portraiture, I thought that was a brilliant idea. I was almost jealous that I didn't come up with that.
It felt very special and a little mirror into something that we didn't expect.
It was lovely to see the result at the end, Rosanna. It was really amazing.
Your portrait was great. I loved your pose. I thought it was perfect.
And that gallery, which challenged her to show connections, it'll hang her art just as soon as that can happen.
It's my visual diary of the experience. It's maybe not the nicest part of our history, but
It's still part of it.
it's still part of it. And it needs to be, and it has its own story.
That story, that experience, that lifeline is art. But at its heart, it's about what so many of us miss, being with friends. David Coleman, CBC News, Alberta, Ontario.
The superhero genre got a little more inclusive today. Up next, a Marvel movie breaking ground and inspiring a community.
I'm Jamie Poisson. Join me for CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner. Every weekday, Front Burner takes you deep into the stories shaping Canada and the world. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Who are you? Well, that is Canadian actor Simu Liu, the star of a groundbreaking new superhero movie out today called Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It is the first Marvel movie with an Asian lead, an Asian director, and a mostly Asian cast. And the cultural significance is almost impossible to overstate. Entertainment reporter Eli Glasner has more on why such representation matters so much to Asian fans of all ages.
Hey mama, look around. Everybody's grooving to a brand new sound. Hey,
Meet Sophia Liu, a 12-year-old who dreams of singing on Broadway. But her mom worries Sophia has already lost roles because she's Asian.
I feel proud of that she's not afraid of being different, and she's not afraid of being, Asian face among those princesses.
Just because I look different or somebody else might not look the same as me, it doesn't justify anything.
It's time to show the world who I really am.
But she sees the arrival of the movie Shang-Chi as a game changer.
Oh, it's an Asian superhero. That could be me. It really brings, it's really inspirational. That could be an Asian face. It's not really separate anymore.
Around the world, excitement over what Shang-Chi represents is growing. Ron Han created a fundraiser to bring Asian American kids to the film. A martial arts movie fan, he grew up watching Chinese stars like Jackie Chan and Jet Li.
But
this is an Asian American, Asian Canadian film that stars, those in the diaspora and is made by those in the diaspora. So there's an authentic Asian American, Asian Canadian voice that's severely lacking.
Is this what you wanted?
For Simu Liu himself, Shang-Chi is about embracing where you came from.
It's a story about self-acceptance and the route to self-acceptance, which is to look at all the people that came before you and to understand that that's why you're where you are today and to accept that as a part of your journey.
Before we left Sophia Liu, we offered to pass along a message to Marvel's newest superhero.
Hi, you probably don't even know I exist, but I'm really inspired by your passion to be an actor because you're the Asian face. And also we kind of have the same last name or whatever, but yeah, I'm really excited to see this movie and congratulations for getting the part. I mean, I'm nobody, but whatever.
Oh my God, can I respond to her?
Yeah, please,
Is that
that's
okay?
why we're here.
Hey, Sophia, first of all, you are absolutely not a nobody. You absolutely light up the camera, so I'm really looking forward to seeing more from you from one S. Liu to another. Keep following your dreams and never apologize about it.
A message from one star to another, hoping to follow his lead. Eli Glaster, CBC News, Toronto.
On Sunday, we'll have more from Simu Liu. National co-host Andrew Chang sat down with him to talk about playing the superhero and about being part of a trailblazing Canadian TV show. Here's an excerpt.
Remember sitting down with you on the set of Kim's Convenience days after I had gotten announced at Comic-Con and talking about what a whirlwind that was, and here I am now saying the same tune. It's a whirlwind, it's still a whirlwind. The whole 2 years has been a whirlwind.
Canadian superstar Drake is once again smashing records following the highly anticipated release of his latest album. Certified Lover Boy, the Toronto rapper's sixth studio album, had been plagued with delays. But seeing the album art earlier this week set the internet on fire. A wave of copycats ensued, with major corporations jumping on board. Days later, a truly global billboard campaign, hitting places as far away as Nigeria. And when the album finally dropped early this morning, it did not disappoint fans. It's already added fuel to the rivalry with rapper Kanye. It quickly became Apple Music's most streamed album in a single day, giving Drake the title of most streamed artist on the service in 24 hours this year. And check out his new music video with a former rapper cameo. More than 2 million views and counting in just a matter of hours. You may be familiar with the Twitter account Vaccine Hunters Canada, and it may have even helped you get your shot.
What's important here, I think, is for people to really see the faces behind Vaccine Hunters.
While team members are stepping back from Twitter, their final tweet was a tribute video to volunteers, and it's our moment after this.
It's no mystery Murdoch is back. It'd be a crime to miss it. New season, September 13th on CBC and CBC Gem.
Andrew Young from Toronto started the Vaccine Hunters Canada Twitter account in March of 2021. It all began with him wanting to register his own parents for the shot. Soon enough, the team of volunteers racked up more than 250,000 followers, and it's estimated they helped 1.2 million Canadians get the vaccine. Well, as they wind down their Twitter presence, their farewell tweet and tribute video to their volunteers is our moment tonight.
We noticed a decrease in the amount of users that needed help, and we decided that, it was time to wind down. There's so many faces and people behind Vaccine Hunters, and the comms team wanted to put together something that showed off our team.
Vaccine Hunters Canada is really an act of random kindness, and it shows the power of volunteering. We've received thousands of replies, comments. Our team has read each and every one.
What's important here, I think, is for people to really see the faces behind vaccine hunters. It's been good to show people that it is people like you and me and anyone else you know who could be part of this and who are part of it. And that's what the farewell video is all about, is showing that it wasn't this faceless organization. It was just normal people coming together.
Kudos to them, really. And it's important to point out they're not gone completely. You can always visit their website for more information, vaccinehunters.ca. Well, that is the National for September 3rd. I'm Ashley Tomlinson. Good night.